Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription at the previous trial. Yeah, he didn't even talk about that. That's because phony Nick didn't even mention this. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, right? The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicines mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the little poison itself! Order! Order! Okay, well, we do have some lead at this point. We can ask the doctor about this, and we do also have this to question. Something that wasn't discussed in the previous case, so... Moving on! No, Mr. Gato, what do you have to say to that? Huh. That's all. Just a little ha. What? Just ha? That's it? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological? What the fuck is that? Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from? Mr. Gato. Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. Eh? A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? You're kidding! It's mentioned in the autopsy report, if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is. A very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trevian. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Still, it doesn't really deny the possibility that there was poison in there to begin with. Maybe there's something to the doctor that we don't know of. Maybe it wasn't just the medication that he gave. Maybe there was something else that the doctor secretly put in the prescription bag. Yeah. It seems that this medication is relevant to the case after all. No.
If we don't think of something quick, it'll all be over.
She's right. I cannot get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Should we push the medication issue? I think so. Like, it's not just what I said before, that maybe the poison was secretly put in there in the prescription bag by the doctor. Or maybe not the doctor, somebody else. But maybe there's more to it. I mean, we still have to question why the cream was not there to begin with, right? It's not possible for Glenn Elk to just use all that cream at once and just throw it away. There was definitely some left, and yet it was stolen. For what reason? Only moments ago, Mr. Gato made the following statement. It seems Mr. Elk correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trevian. Unless it was John Armstrong that stole that cream. Because we know that he's a pilferer. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside of your canal. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that, Judge, but still, it was not there. For what reason? Why was the cream not there? Objection! That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem at first, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide.
Objection!
It hardly seems likely that the coffee that the waitress served would contain it either. But it did! The possibility is undeniable! Grr. Not enough! Mr. Gatto, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Gatto? I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. He's the old man who was there in the restaurant the day of the murder. Okay, well, let's call him in. Apparently Gatto is too struck by this for some reason, that he cannot even talk. Victor Kudo? The pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems like more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me.
Yay! Hey, Jeff, Nick.
All in the day's work. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Damn, you already went through 11 at this point? Jesus! Court is adjourned for recess. January 7, 11:03 a.m. District Court. Defendant lobby number 1.
Phew. That was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. Died? There were a lot of other situations where you nearly died for sure, Phoenix, but definitely not this one. This was a walk in the park. Thus far.
That's my line, sir. No, it's mine. I think I really did die a little bit.
Looks like you all nearly died in there.
I cannot believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that?
Betray us? What do you mean?
Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up.
Set you up? I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. What, you mean... about being a witness and all that? I mean, you don't mean that he did something... I mean, he wasn't even at the crime scene like a month ago. Only now he is here helping you. If you're talking about him being a witness in the trial, well, what do you think he would have done? Otherwise. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach.
Are you sure about this, Maggie?
I hate that guy. I never ever want to see him again.
Oh, poor Gumshoe. What the hell? I mean, what did you want Gumshoe to do? To go against the system? I don't...
So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. I mean, I've dealt with people like him before. Bring it on! Oh, you're gonna regret those words, Nick. I mean, you may resist the first wave of bird seeds, but after 9 times, you're definitely gonna have to go to the hospital after that. Contempt of court definitely doesn't help you, Nick. As long as that contempt of court is directed at you, then the judge won't bat an eye. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Gatto, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name your occupation, if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Yep, that is Japanifornia, alright. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a tough question for him to answer. Listen, Gyakuten. How much coal do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Eh? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do! Or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. Yeah, I think that he's being delusional over here. I mean, what the fuck is Japan? This is Japanifornia, sir. There's no such thing as Japan. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime?
I mean, you could definitely change your costume a little bit. Well, look a little bit different once in a while. Anyway, like I said, there's no much demand for that kind of thing here. Unless that kind of kimono that Mai is wearing is the norm for the people of her village. Because Pearls is definitely wearing a similar kimono, like Maya, in similar colors and such, so I wonder how much you can change for that. So I had to take a job working the cash register at the burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. I don't know. I mean, I know somebody who works at burger joints, like Victor Kudo over here, if he worked at burger joints. I mean, the one that I'm talking about is definitely not human, that's for sure. No, then, witness. Were you in the restaurant at the time of the at the time of the kitchen? At the time of the incident? Oh, yes. I was eating some seeds over a cup of jalapeno. Seeds? What do you think these are, hmm? Okay, so you're eating those as well? I guess so. Since you don't have an occupation and all. I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh, yes! Oh, yes, I did! I saw it all! Then please, tell the court. We're all ears. Sure. I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. As long as you get my comfy chair here. Because I don't want to sit here for like half an hour. He's really getting into this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a jalapeno, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl. Right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Ha! You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones? You're making me look mad. Newfangled? You know how it is with laws and such. They have this legalese language of theirs that are too completely different from the human ones. Most of us don't even understand what the fuck the law people are talking. All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Okay, definitely not those words, but still. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old days. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Just please. Alrighty then, Kudo. Let's go through this. The young man was reading the sports paper. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenelg? I wanted to know if Guts and Braun retained his championship or not. Guts and Braun? So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? You say that you could see the victim. That means that you were sitting at the table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Yeah, that will be more than likely. Because if you were to sit on the one on the left side of where the victim was, you definitely wouldn't be able to see the victim, or not even the other person that would be seen, that would be the killer, or the waitress at that point. If the waitress was, if Maggie Bird was near the victim. But if you were there, on the other side, then you surely wouldn't be able to see a lot. Ka! I go to that place to drink Javakiro. I don't go to a set. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. Great. You mean you go there to eye the waitress? The serving girl brought him a Javakiro, but she put something in it. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Mr. Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. Well, I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. Especially the nose. He is definitely sniffing those waitresses like day and night. I mean, look at that big nose. That's why he has that big nose. Because he keeps sniffing all the damn time after waitresses. And I saw what the serving girl put into the Javakino as well. I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not going to like it. Well, let's press anyway. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put in the victim's coffee. Wait, that? I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some out of a small brown bottle and sprinkled in it. Couldn't she have been adding sugar, maybe? How would you know that it was poison? Sugar? In a small brown bottle like that? I guess, like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? White, brown bottle. Ha! A bottle like this, perhaps. Oh, there it is. That's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So, what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Great. The man took one sip of it. Looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. He took just one sip. You youngins. You waste everything. Those Javakinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title of brattiest man to grace a courtroom. Maybe. So he was an immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh yes, slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javakino I just drank turn sour in my stomach. Ah yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress? I presume she is... That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. You said, I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace! That's what it is! Sorry? Okay, focus here, Victor Kuro, focus. Let's not go that direction. You can see all the way up to the... you know! She's practically leaking in that uniform! So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? I mean, come on. Let's be real, those kinds of outfits, I mean, the outfit that Maggie, and for that matter Maya, wore, they were definitely not that revealing. At least not from the top side. I mean, I guess if you can squint, you can definitely see... But anyone could wear just such a uniform. Even me! Yeah, you would definitely look fancy in that. But you cannot deny it. If I were to wear the waitress outfit, I would definitely look sexy. Mr. Wright, Mr. Noby, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. Sorry, Judge.
Don't get that excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together.
I guess I got carried away. There are other things I recognize about her, too. He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Let's press him harder. Sure, he saw witches take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether the witches was Maggie Bird or not. You know, that's a very good point, I guess, that we can toy around with. I mean, let's think about it this way. John Armstrong, we definitely cannot trust him at this point. I mean, he seems like a shady person. Victor Kudo, he was more focused on looking at the waitress outfit more than the face. So maybe he confused Maggie Bird for somebody else. I mean, he wasn't paying attention to the face, more to the outfit, right? But right. Mr. Kudo, these are the features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. Cause if it wasn't Maggie Bird and it was somebody else, that could actually help us. That could actually help us tremendously. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron's straps were loose. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that! Objection! And the witness noticed the straps on the accused. The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He is unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the witches pretty well. What should I do? I definitely think there's something more to this, somehow. I don't know, I mean... Let's ask you about the waitress's back, for example. The identifying features you described, all things you would see from the back. Yeah, that's actually true. The ribbon and the straps. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the witches from the front at all? Objection! Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. Oh, so for once you agree with us? People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I'll tell you I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons! I'm just telling you what I saw! Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer.
And if I cannot find a hole in this soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. Yeah, you know what? Let's see. I think that we're on a good track over here. You mostly remember, like I said, I was joking about that sort of stuff, but maybe he really did not see the face. He was focused on the dress. So that would mean that he didn't really see Maggie Burr, but somebody else. Cause, like if we were to think about it that way, if Victor Kudo was on the other side of the restaurant and on the tables on the like down on the map, as you can see, let's see, crime photo, trivia and floor plans. If he was like down here, around here, then that would mean that he saw the waitress from the back when the waitress was serving the cup of coffee for the victim. So he probably didn't see the face at all at that point. He didn't find anything to be distinct, but he did clearly see the witness's face, yes? No question about it. I didn't come this far to break down now. Victor Kudo never backs down. That's not the answer I was looking for, but okay.
This has turned into a matter of pride for old CD now, I guess. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not.
Like I thought, we need some concrete proof of this. Proof that the old guy didn't see the witches clearly from the front. Proof that he didn't see the witches clearly from the front.
Do you think old CD really saw Maggie do it?
No, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there.
Well, he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress.
I guess. Jimmy has a good point, though.
Hey, did I just say something clever?
Of course you did, Maya. You cutie patootie. I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie.
That's why we have to figure it out, Nick.
Let me see about the last statement. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. There wasn't anything that caught his interest about her when he saw her from the front. Nothing of interest. Well, we did learn that her apron, quote unquote, her apron, had the stains, had the ketchup stains on her. I mean, that would be considered something of interest, maybe. Cause if Victor Kudo did not see the ketchup stains or even the coffee stains on the apron of this witness that he saw, then clearly, the waitress that he saw was definitely not Maggie Bird.
Objection!
Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ha! That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Oh, you half-witted clod. What? What is it? Ever since I said you have with a claw, there's been a new resounds in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. Huh? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the witches from the front. Oops. Goodness. You don't just oops your way out of this. Maybe with some oofs and such, but not oops. Huh. Well, well. Looks like I finally have a genuine trial on our hands. You're surely a lot silent throughout that testimony, Gato, in comparison to when we have Ganshu. What is his plan now? Listen, Trite. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird? Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this sole guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I cannot remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger a customer wanted.
You cannot remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. This tells just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy bread kept rustling its pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. To the wireless? Then the starving girl in question brought over the tabakino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to be that he remembered the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. So, I mean, if you remember such details, then what we said before still stands.
How are we going to handle this, Nick?
We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot.
Just strip him up, you mean? Isn't that kinda cool?
I suppose. But it's what I do best. Yeah, as a lawyer in California, you cannot go easy, that's for sure. He was another of those pesky young types, wearing a broken pair of spectacles. Spectacles? Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was weak, but the other was broken. You think of rubbish? That's why I remember him so well. It's like that one Japanese cartoon that some people are raving about. What was it called? Like Dragon Testicles Z? He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. Yeah. He seems to have been wearing some rare, modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some, and rival Mr. Gado's sharp appearance.
Better come up with something sharp, and quick.
Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles. I mean, we should. We could all be wearing some cool, fancy, futuristic shades, like Gado. He had the newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy bread kept rustling its pages. The newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan. I knew to ask him, can you even read without fidgeting, How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all the rustling going on? The back page? I needed to find out if he got some brawn retain his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you want to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own? Because he has no money. What are you looking at me like that for, How dare you?
Ow, ow! Got some drunk got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway.
The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. The wireless? You know, you've been complaining about this, but do you know about this stuff, Kudo? The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish. That's what it is. You know, just to go on a tangent over here, just something that doesn't have to do with this. It's weird when I walk down the streets and I hear some people talk, but with their earpieces, like wireless earpieces in their ears. Not with a mobile phone on their hands. Not with the earpieces that have wires, but they are wireless earpieces. That can actually confuse me at times, because for a second it makes me think, wait, did that person talk to me? Oh no, wait, that person is talking to somebody else in the earpiece. It's kind of confusing. It's like, for a second it doesn't make you think that they're talking to somebody on the phone or something like that, but rather they're talking to somebody that is near them. And that's what makes me flinch like that. In comparison to when somebody would have their phone in their hands or have like wired earpieces. Because I would definitely recognize that they're talking to somebody from a distance. But not like that. It's a little bit weird. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it. Was he that desperate to listen to that radio? What are you looking at me like that? How dare you? Ow! 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 Jesus! Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javakino. Okay, let's go through this fast, otherwise we're gonna end up with bruises from all these seeds. You meet the waitress, who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, aren't you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Yeah. Like a rising phoenix. Maybe. What does it matter if I saw her from the front or from the back? My eyes don't lie! Ow! Jesus! I better not push it until I got some hard evidence. Okay, well, here's the last statement over here. Alright, well, you know what? He is definitely gonna throw some more seeds at us, but we gotta go through this. His free hand. Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, cloth ears? I said he was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, right? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which was it? Ow! Huh. Perhaps the great Mr. Trite has free hands. Yeesh. I was only asking. I mean, don't gang on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That this old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss.
I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh?
Anything will do, even the smallest detail. We just need one mistake, and he's ours. Yeah. Not much pressing harder on this. Nor... well, I guess so. Let's see. Wearing a broken pair of spectacles. Nah, there's nothing contradictory here. He had a newspaper in his right hand. And the noisy bread kept rustling its pages. Okay. I mean, the only detail that we truly learned in this cross-examination is that he had the newspaper on the right hand and the coffee cup on the left hand. I mean, that's basically it. So, I guess if we are to find a mistake in his cross-examination in this, it will be us questioning him about the positioning of the newspaper and the coffee cup. Like, maybe it's vice versa, that he had that Glen Elk had the coffee cup on the right and the newspaper on the left. In which case, what could we even present on that? Like, is there something around here that would contradict this? Coffee cup. The coffee contained potassium cyanide, covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. I mean, it definitely has the victims, it definitely has Maggie's fingerprints. If we are to go with the idea from before that it wasn't Maggie Bird, then, well, it could be that that somebody else that impersonated Maggie Bird had gloves. That should have been something that that we would add. That's definitely something that we should ask Victor Kudo about it. But newspaper left by victim. Doodle is in victim's handwriting. Huh. I still wonder what that is about. Newspaper. Coffee cup. Oh! Hold on a second. Yeah, you know what? As you can see right over here on the coffee cup, there are marks from Glenn Elk's lips right over here when he drank the cup of coffee. And given the positioning of it, like when you grab the coffee cup, if you are to grab it with the left hand, you would get it with the handle. That would mean that the lip marks should have been the other side. With the positioning of the lip marks over here, like on the left side of the handle, that would mean that Glenn Elk drank with its right hand. Yeah, you know what? I think this should be it. I think that would be a contradictory to this, that it wasn't the left hand that he drank the coffee cup with. It was the right one. Yeah, let's see. Let me see if I'm right about this.
Objection!
Yes! Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you, nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. The pigeon song? Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ha! What is this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes. And on the rim, you'll notice that the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Now, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Arrgh! Stop it, lawyer! You make me look bad. Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he... Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Ah yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am.